Well, the Gales of November have come early and also have come home are the Chippewas for their 7th home game of the season. Tonight, the Chippewas hope to avenge their loss from a night ago against the defending national champions, the Lawrence Tech Blue Devils. Hi again, everybody. Thanks so much for joining us on CCHN. Michael Rosencrans here with you on the call for today's game. Riding solo today, broadcast partner Reagan Cleaves will not be joining us today, feeling a little under the weather. Hope he is doing well out there and send him our well wishes that he gets much better overall, but he will be serving as a rules analyst for me today. So
I'm right here, Michael.
Yes, he is right here. Hi, Reagan.
Hello. It's my voice, everybody. I'm fine otherwise, but Michael's going to handle it from here.
Central Michigan coming into today. It was a tough start and an even tougher finish for Central Michigan. Last night, it was a 4-1 loss against the Lawrence Tech Blue Devils, who started divisional play yesterday. They're off on the right foot, 1-0 in divisional play, and Central Michigan falls to 2-1. It was 3 unanswered goals by LTU in that second period that really sort of sent things downhill for Central Michigan, all on the back door, those that Caleb Woolery couldn't really do anything about last night. So Central Michigan will look to have a better second period, and all starts with the special teams. They were the story of the game yesterday, and you go back to that 5-on-3 two-man advantage that Central Michigan had, and it was dominated by Lawrence Tech in that time. So special teams will be a heavy focus tonight ahead of this one. But a bright spot for Central Michigan was Ryan Grollo, who got his first goal in 11 games, his second on the year, which is a bright spot for Ryan Grollo. Right place, right time on the rebound to stuff it past Tim Young last night for the Chippewas' only goal in that contest. CMU right now sits at a record of 7-8-1, 15 points overall, and as previously mentioned, they are 2-1 in division play. They sit in sole possession of second place in the MCHC East. They had a 5-game point streak snapped last night, and in their last 10, they are 6-3-1-0. At home, they sit right in the middle of the pack at home this year. They're 3-3 at home this year for Central Michigan, and with a homecoming here today, they are hoping that they can return to home ice and vanquish the Blue Devils, who did a good number on them yesterday. Lawrence Tech sits at 10-0-1 with 21 overall points and 1-0 in divisional play. They are now in sole possession of third place in the MCHC East. The defending national champions, this is a fast, physical team, and they rarely make mistakes. You saw it last night with the special teams capitalizing on those breakaways and using their speed to outpace Central Michigan left and right. So expect them to play with the same fast, physical play as yesterday. They look to start off division play on a 2-game win streak for the Blue Devils. Just taking a quick look at the series history, LTU is now 12-7-0-4 overall in the series, and in the last 8, LTU has dominated. They're now 5-0-1-2 in their last 8, and again, you go back to Central Michigan's last win. It goes all the way back to February 19th of 2022 in the quarterfinals, which was a double overtime win. My apologies, they are actually 12. Central Michigan is now 11-9-0-4 in the all-time series against 0-2. Quick number correction there, but they are right about middle of the pack in that all-time series for Central Michigan. And in the regular season, again, you go back to their last regulation win all the way back to October 12th of 2019 when the Chippewas won 4-3, and it's been 7 games since the Chippewas have won in the regular season. Those are a quick look at your two teams. When we come back, we'll take a look at the impact players for both teams and keys to the game. It's Central Michigan and Lawrence Tech University here on CCHN. backyard side Martin Ice Arena, just ahead of puck drop for Central Michigan Chippewas and the Lawrence Tech Blue Devils. Time now to take a look at the impact players presented by SeamishIceHockey.com for Central Michigan. I'm going to start with Andrew Siraki. He brought that physical play yesterday that the Chippewas were missing yesterday, and a late hit into the boards yesterday, trying to fire Central Michigan's bench up. And not only does he bring physical play, he does have that goal-scoring ability. His only recent goal coming in to today was against University of Michigan at Crystal Fieldhouse, where he made a nifty of a move past Alex Noble to net his second goal of the campaign. Second impact player for Central Michigan, I'm going to go with Nick Kuhn. In 14 games played, he has 1 goal, 1 assist for his 2 points on the campaign, but kind of talk about Nick Kuhn all the time. He's great on defense, and he really created a couple of chances last night and took a giveaway from LTU to have a chance of his own, but couldn't get it to go. So Nick Kuhn, he knows how to turn that defense into good offense, so the Chippewas will look for lots of that tonight. For LTU, I'm going to start with Luke Radu. In 11 games played, he's 5 goals, 6 assists for his 11 points on the campaign. He is a very fast, hard-working forward. Yesterday, he was creating, and he led so many breakaways for this LTU team. He's very fast, hard-working, and he will not slow down. And quite frankly, he left Central Michigan in the dust, which created a lot of those chances. So Chippewas will have to keep an eye on Radu tonight in order to contain the Blue Devils team. And the second impact player for LTU, you got to go with Will Jentz again. I mean, he was phenomenal yesterday, and now 10 games played. He has 8 goals, 11 assists for his 19 points on the campaign. He was yesterday's first star for Lawrence Tech with a goal and 2 assists last night, and he is great on ice chemistry with his teammates, creating so many chances, unselfish with the puck, and feeding those backdoor feeds to create wide open chances for scoring. So those are your impact players. Time now to take a look at the keys to the game. For Central Michigan, they did a good job yesterday of keeping bodies in front of the net. They were creating traffic in front of Tim Young, LTU's netminder, last night, which created some havoc out in front. So Central Michigan has that ability to get traffic in front of the net, and they'll have to look to do that tonight if they want to try and create some more chances. And speaking of creating chances, special teams has got to thrive in this one today. They went 0 for 6 on the power play yesterday, which after going 5 for 15 in the Route 66 showcase took a good stride, and then it fell off sharply last night. So power play and PK units will have to be stout tonight in order to get some chances and take advantage of those special teams. Cycle the puck more, and you will be good. And third and finally, put last night behind you. 4-1 loss. It does leave a sour taste in your mouth to the national champions, but tomorrow's a new day, and you return to Martin Ice Arena today. A brand new game, brand new 60 minutes of hockey. So put last night behind you, focus on the here and now, and play Chippewa hockey. Those are your keys to the game, and we'll step aside one more time before we take a quick look at the MCHC East Division standings and some weekend matchups to look forward to. Don't go anywhere. This is CMU and LTU on CCHN. Zamboni taking a couple laps around the ice, resurfacing the rink, which means it's almost time for puck drop here at Martin Ice Arena. Central Michigan and Lawrence Tech duking it out today in the finale of this home-and-home series. Time to take a look at the MCHC East standings. Only a few teams got more games in divisional play. Michigan leads the division atop right now. They sit at 2-0 in the division with 4 points. They had a 5-0 loss to Hope last night, so they'll play the second of that home-and-home in Holland here today. Central Michigan sits second in the MCHC East. They've now played 3 games in division play, going to enter number 4 today. They're a 2-1 record with 4 points on the campaign. CMU sits at 7-8-1 overall. Michigan sits at 9-1 overall. Lawrence Tech sits at number 3 in the division. They are 1-0 in division play, and with 11 games overall, they are 10-0-1. Oakland has yet to begin divisional play. They will next week against your Central Michigan Chippewas, and through 13 games, they are now 11-2 overall on the season. Michigan Flint and Adrian both round out the MCHC East Division. They both sit 0-2 in divisional play, with Michigan Flint playing the most games out of anyone in the MCHC East. They sit at 19 games overall and a 9-9-0-1 record. Adrian has only played 7 games this season, and they are sitting at 3-4. Some games to catch you up on this weekend. Already touched on it just a second ago. Michigan and Hope. U of M had that 5-0 loss to Hope last night, so the Wolverines will travel to Holland at Griff's Ice House West to take on the Flying Dutchman in the finale of that home-and-home. That puck drop slated for 7:30. And Oakland and Akron were set to play. Akron forfeited the weekend due to travel restraints. Understandable. And Oakland will begin divisional play next week against Central Michigan. For Adrian, they play Butler tonight and tomorrow in a home-and-home series. They will go tonight at 7 o'clock p.m. and tomorrow at 1 p.m. Taking a look at some quick scratches for you. For Lawrence Tech, they're going to sit. They scratch Max Krzeja, Mitchell Selmeyer, Daniel Garbahal, Matt Schulte, Peyton Arnold, Josh Pedersen, Sam Stepanek, and Aiden Thongfedith for LTU. And they will also scratch Noah Miklos, Tim Young, and Tommy Lee at goal. That'll just about do it for the pregame show. I had the opportunity to sit down with head coach Brennan Martin ahead of this one. We'll take you to the coaches show next on CCHN. Welcome back inside Martin Ice Arena here with Central Michigan head coach Brennan Martin. Coach, last night was a tough night for Central Michigan. It was a 4-1 loss, but in that you saw Ryan Grolo get his first goal in 11 games, his second on the campaign. Just talk about that for a minute.
Yeah, I mean, he got in the right place at the right time and scored a crucial goal in the first there that tied the game up. And, we talk about all the time how you have to play a complete game in that second period. You take 5 minutes off and a good team goes and puts 3 goals in on you, and then you're playing catch up like we've talked about before. So the first and third period, it was a 0-0 game, and you lose the second period 3-0, and that's pretty much the storyline of what went down last night.
I think when it comes to talking about that response, tying the game, it really kept things to a minimum until that second period because you tie it very quickly, and when it's tied like that and when you're 5-on-5, and it was a very disciplined first period of hockey, you can play with anybody.
Yeah, absolutely. We say it all the time. We believe we have a really good team when we play 5-on-5 hockey. And then you go into that second period. A lot of those goals were self-inflicted goals, mental breakdowns, as I call them, just plays that are uncharacteristic for our guys, and ones that I would put all 4 of their goals in that category, but goals that our guys definitely wish they would have had back, and I think they knew that they made that mistake, and so going into today, it's correcting those and being more disciplined with the puck and making smart plays.
Caleb Woolery got the start yesterday. He saved 45 of 49. Tonight you go with Isaac Gleisner. What are you hoping to see out of him tonight?
Yeah, just what he's been doing all year. I mean, he's been outstanding for us. Caleb was outstanding last night, and that doesn't go said enough that Caleb's an outstanding goaltender. And I know the record doesn't show it, but he's a phenomenal goalie, and I love that he's on our team, and he goes out and plays his butt out for me every night. So I have nothing but appreciation for him. And when you look at the shot total yesterday and some of the saves he had to make, I think it was just more for his health and for him to get some rest for next weekend.
Finally, Coach, what are some keys to tonight's matchup against Lawrence Tech?
Yeah, you're going to minimize the mistakes, make sure that you're playing a disciplined game, playing 5-on-5, and stop with the self-inflicted wounds, play a full 60 minutes of hockey, and let's come out here with a win tonight.
Coach, thank you so much.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
That was Central Michigan head coach Brennan Martin. Stay with us. More after this puck drop coming up next on CCHN.
Welcome back to Martin Ice Arena. We're just moments away from puck drop here in Mount Pleasant. Michael Rosenkrantz is on his way over to do public address and introduce the president of Central Michigan University, Dr. McKinnon. And we'll send it down to Michael here at Marty.
For tonight's contest between the Lawrence Tech Blue Devils and your Central Michigan Chippewas. Let's get the starters. First, for the Blue Devils. On defense, number 6, Sawyer Walker. Number 21, Kate Wright. At forward, number 6, Thomas Walsh. Correction, number 10, Thomas Walsh. Number 22, Jeff Raymond. And number 23, Luke Brady. And then type 4 of the Blue Devils, number 31, Griffin Foster. The head coach of the Blue Devils is Kenneth Yett. And now for your number 53, Sam Camilla. Assisted by Marcus Jackson and Thomas Rowe. And at this time, the both captains make their way to center ice for tonight's ceremonial puck drop. And we ask that you direct your attention to center ice for tonight's ceremonial puck drop. Performing the puck drop today is Central Michigan University President, Dr. Neil McKinnon.
That was the ceremonial puck drop. Dr. Neil McKinnon dropping the puck as part of the pre-game festivities here at Martin Ice Arena. Reagan Cleaves soon to be joined and replaced by Michael Rosenkrantz, as my voice is a little bit ailing me here today. I want to give it a little bit of a rest, but I'll at least be here for the starting netminders. Taking a look at Lawrence Tech's starting goaltender, Griffin Foster, 4-0 record this year with a shutout and a 125 goals against average, a 951 save percentage. He has been lights out against Central Michigan in his previous 3 contests. He comes into this one with a 3-0 record against the Chippewas, 2.00 goals against average and a .914 save percentage in his 3 games against Central Michigan. On the other side, the Chippewas will turn to Isaac Leisner, who in 6 games this season has a 2-3 record, 1 shutout, which he gained at the beginning of the month against Michigan Flint, a 3.82 goals against average and a 917 save percentage. Central Michigan will head from left to right across your screen, wearing those white home uniforms with maroon and gold trim. Lawrence Tech will move from right to left in those all-blue uniforms that they debut here today. And with the play-by-play of the contest, here is a winded Michael Rosenkrantz.
I'm just coming up from the PA booth. Why not? Performing a little double-duty puck drop at center. Off we go. Here from Martin Ice Arena. Puck is dumped into the CMU, into the LTU zone. It'll go for a quick icing. Give us a chance to catch our breath for a moment. Tonight's ceremonial puck drop was performed by newly appointed Central Michigan University President Dr. Neil McKinnon, who is joined by his wife Leanne. So great of them to come today and spend their evening with us in Martin Ice Arena. Face off to the left of Gleisner, won by Central Michigan. Knocked around in the own end, and a giveaway here by the Chippewas. Look out, a backhanded feed low in the slot and was knocked away by Central Michigan. Out to neutral ice, good kick play by Nathan Bottles. Can he win the race to the puck? He cannot. He gets hauled down hard by his man, Sawyer Walker, who's getting the start today for the Blue Devils. That puck thrown in to the CMU zone. Icing will be the call. Very close icing at that, as Luke Radu pleading his case, but he's not going to win that. 31 seconds gone in the first period, scoreless game. Michael Rosencrans riding solo with you today from Martin Ice Arena. Starters for LTU include Sawyer Walker, Tommy Walsh, Tate Wright, Luke Radu, and Caleb Dahl. Central Michigan will go with Jake Bishop, Nathan Bottles, Sam Kamara, Chris Armentrout, and Josh Gilgren. Now, looks like they're deciding where to put the face-off. They'll elect to go to center ice. 19-19 to go in the first period, no score. Face-off won cleanly by Lawrence Tech. Face-offs were a key issue yesterday for Central Michigan, as it was all LTU that dominated in terms of the face-off. That puck deflected into the Blue Devil end, and it'll be played by Griffin Foster, who couldn't clear it and goes up into the netting. So we'll get another stoppage in play. Net comes off its moorings. Quickly reset by the referee, and Isaac Hopp set to dig in for the Chippewas to the left of Griffin Foster. LTU wins that face-off. Guillermo Hernandez, they're back to retrieve it. Puck comes free to center ice. Couldn't be swiped past the blue line for CMU. Martin retrieves it for Central Michigan. Hutton circles with it in his own end. Him and Chris Martin will play a little pitch and catch. That puck deflected into the CMU zone. Couldn't be kept in to the CMU zone. Now delayed offside on Isaac Hopp was whistled dead. That puck deflected, almost hit into the rafters. It just missed the rafters, thus we play on. Nick Kuhn couldn't retrieve that puck. Boy, he's been ever sharp on the defensive side of things, trying to create those turnovers and get more of those chances that he saw yesterday. Connor Morgan fans on that pass. Puck down low in the slot, knocked away to the corner. Up to the blue line, long shot deflected out in front. It was cleared but not out, kept in by Sawyer Walker. Centering feed, intercepted by Central Michigan, but LTU gets it back. Along the far boards, it comes to Caleb Dahl. Caleb Dahl had that pass intercepted. A 2-on-2 developing the other way. Here's a long shot. Foster able to save that. Puck chipped out of the LTU end. Josh Gilgren there to retrieve. 17:24 to go in the first period. Scoreless game for Martin Ice Arena. Michael Rosencrans with you. So happy to have you along on a Saturday early evening. A shot from Gilgren, blockered away by Foster. Central Michigan trying to keep the puck in. They do. Here's a shot from Johnson. Glove save by Foster. Good shot from Johnson. Griffin Foster saw it all the way. Julian Johnson once again in number 37 tonight for the Maroon and Gold. Draw over to the left of Griffin Foster. He's been ever so sharp. In his fifth game today, he's 4-0 with a 125 goals against average and a 951 save percentage. He's going to be a tough test tonight for this Central Michigan team. And the linesman having some word with some spectators over in the far corner. Nothing seems to come of that. Maybe a little bit of hecklers towards Griffin Foster tonight, or that of the Maroon and Gold. Now here comes LTU up the other way. Great defensive play by CMU to get into the passing lane. Puck trapped in the near corner. 3 bodies tied up alongside there. That puck comes free, courtesy of Julian Johnson. Gilgren circles it around the far boards where it's kept in by the Blue Devils. There's a long shot to the near corner, goes wide. Sawyer Walker tries to dangle. He takes his man down hard. That's Andrew Miller. Puck intercepted by Luke Radu. And he gets taken down hard. Multiple flying hits left and right. Now here's a one-time blast. Save Gleisner. Didn't know where it is until it popped to the near corner. Kept in by Lawrence Tech. Another one-timer. Saved by Geisler, and a rebound goes behind the net. Lawrence Tech pouring on those chances. Here's a soft shot from Walker. Couldn't be deflected out in front. To the near boards, where it's kept alive by the Blue Devils. Great keep in there by Gavin Holmes. There's a one-time shot that was wide. Here's a turnaround, sticked away by Gleisner, and that goes up into the netting. 15:52 to go, and it's a scoreless game for Martin Ice Arena. LTU with a lot of good chances. Chippewas and Isaac Gleisner standing tall as of now. Draw will be to the left of Gleisner. It was just 2 weekends ago that Isaac Gleisner got his first ACHA win and his first ACHA shutout against University of Michigan Flint in that 3-0 win back on November 1st at Crystal Fieldhouse. Puck kept into the zone by Nathan Bottles. Jake Bishop in a race for it. He cannot win. He takes his man hard to the boards, and he loses his stick in the process. That puck chipped ahead to the Blue Devils. Trying to dangle with it was Nick Oda. Nick Oda taken down hard. Bodies go flying. Here's a one-time shot well wide off the glass. Picked up by Hernandez. Hernandez will try a shot. That gets blockered away into the far corner. Puck swings around the near boards for Trevor Losier. There's a shot right on. Blocker saved by Gleisner. Puck cleared down the length of the ice. Icing will be waved off as Losier goes to retrieve it for the Blue Devils. He'll hold it behind his own net. LTU will get a change. And there's a penalty coming up on Central Michigan, so Griffin Foster will go to the bench, but quickly touched up by Isaac Hopp. And at the 5:17 mark, it'll be the first penalty of the game for Central Michigan. And it'll be slashing on Central Michigan. That's going to go on Jake Bishop. That's his 5th penalty of the season, and the LTU is going to get their first power play attempt of the night. Central Michigan's penalty killing unit has been the better half of the special teams, but it all starts with playing disciplined hockey and not letting up a bunch of penalties. Here come the Blue Devils. Captain at the line by Oda. Now into the far circle, a pass across. There's a shot saved by Gleisner. 17 seconds gone in the power play. Good shot from the left circle. Gleisner saw it all the way. Draw will be to Gleisner's right. Face-off batted around. Look out, dangerous face-off. Gleisner's going to have to cover up, and look out, we got some fisticuffs behind the play. An extra shot at Gleisner. And tempers flaring rather quickly here today. Boy, that escalated in a hurry. An extra shot at Isaac Gleisner. Central Michigan takes quite the exception to that. And that's going to be both Alex Grove going off for Lawrence Tech. For roughing, presumably roughing after the play. The officials are talking about it as of now. There's 1:39 left in the Central Michigan penalty kill, 14:21 left in the first period. And officials now reporting the penalties down at the PA booth. So should get things sorted out here momentarily. Now officials are going over to head coach Ken Gaffney for the Blue Devils and getting an explanation. Rather, Michael Woynick behind the bench tonight for the Blue Devils. Officials continuing to talk with Alex Grove. Explain to him what happened. Alex Grove trying to plead his case. Talking about it professionally with the officials. Always nice to have it when a player talks to the official saying, what are they going to call? And get the explanation just as how the game is going to be called. And what will be allowed and what won't be allowed. Second referee and linesman explaining the same situation to head coach Brennan Martin for Central Michigan. And presumably, if these are coincidentals, they are going to be 4-minute penalties. Rather, it's going to be 4-on-4 coming up for CMU and LTU with both of those coincidentals. Correction, 4-on-3 for the Blue Devils. So Lawrence Tech will still be on the power play here. This time with a lot more open ice. It's now 4-on-3 for LTU. And it'll be 4-on-3 for just about 21. Rather, it'll be 5-on-4 for LTU after this penalty for about 21 seconds. So it took a bit to get sorted out, but we play on. A giveaway in CMU end. Now a centering feed out in front, deflected by CMU. Good way to get the stick down. There's a feed out in front, couldn't go. Kept in by Lawrence Tech. At the blue line, a long stretch pass to Blake Holtkamp. That puck goes into the near corner. Collected by the Blue Devils. Luke Radu circling with it. Shot poked away. LTU still has it. Loose puck in the circle. Connor Morgan retrieves it for Central Michigan and flings it on ahead to Andrew Siraki. Siraki up the left wing. That puck goes right behind Griffin Foster. Centering feed out in front, backhanded, just wide of the net. Siraki out to Clements, who fires a shot, got the deflection, couldn't get it to go. Now poked out by Blue Devils. Here's a rush for Tommy Walsh. Walsh puts on the brakes, circles with it. He's got a man trailing, a one-time shot blocked away by Gleisner. 10 seconds left in the 4-on-3. There's another shot from a shark angle, saved by Gleisner. 7 seconds left in the 4-on-3, 12:49 to go in this first period. So it'll be 5-on-4 for the Blue Devils, looks like for about 22 seconds with the differentials and the penalties. Draw will be to the right of Gleisner. Won cleanly by LTU. Here's a one-time shot wide of target. That puck goes to the far boards, intercepted by the Chippewas. 4-on-3 is over. Now it'll be 5-on-4 for LTU for 13 seconds. That puck goes in to the far corner in the CMU end, played back out to neutral ice. Pass comes to Hop, and the power play is over for LTU. Back to full strength for both teams. That puck went towards the LTU bench, delayed offside, and waved off. Puck played back for the Blue Devils. Good defensive work by Isaac Gibbs to tie up his man along the boards. Puck comes free to neutral ice. Pass was fanned on by Holtkamp. LTU gets it back in their own end. Deflected off the far boards, right in front of the stanchion, and rifled into the CMU end. Clements back to retrieve for the Chippewas. Hop comes away with speed, and he gets it across to Jace Johnson. Jace Johnson working out of the net to the backhand, save by Foster. Great chance for Jace Johnson. Griffin Foster standing tall. We'll get a stoppage in play. Jace Johnson frustrated after that one. Thought he had Griffin Foster beat. 11:28 to go in this first period. Still a scoreless contest here from Martin Ice Arena. You talk about taking advantage of those opportunities for Central Michigan. A great one there, just couldn't get it to go. Was Jace Johnson past Griffin Foster. That pass intercepted by Jake Bishop, who fires it into the LTU end. Armentrout tries to win to the race to the puck. He cannot. Hutton retrieves from Martin, who will fire it back into the LTU zone. Armentrout pokes that puck ahead, intercepted by the Blue Devils. That's rifled back in to the CMU end, where it's sticked away by Isaac Gleisner. Blue Devils try a centering feed out in front. It's loose. Save by Gleisner. LTU doing a good job of getting those centering feeds, as they're so used to trying to create those point-blank chances, making it tough for Isaac Gleisner. So far, both goalies have played great so far. Draw is going to be to the right of Isaac Gleisner. Face-off this time won by Central Michigan. Swung out to neutral ice by Josh Gilgren. Nick Kuhn tries to win the race. He cannot. Nifty dangle, a centering feed out in front, loose in the slot, and Nick Kuhn comes away with it with speed. He passes it up the far boards into the CMU end. Played back out to center ice for Josh Gilgren. Gilgren calmly floats it into the CMU end, rather the LTU end. Played ahead for the Blue Devils. Here's a chance right in the right circle. Centering feed out in front, rebound, they score! Luke Radu gets on the board for LTU off of a big rebound by Isaac Gleisner. That's his 6th goal of the season. It's 1-0 Blue Devils. Great chance there by Lawrence Tech. Luke Radu able to get that shot off, sticks with it, gets his own rebound, and is able to get it past the stick side of Isaac Gleisner. And the clock just didn't start until 7 seconds ago. That goal coming at 9:39 of the first period. Here's Radu again. Dangles into the high slot. Pass across, shot well wide of Gleisner. Here's Logan Barnes. He loses the puck in the near corner, comes free to Radu. Lots of traffic down below in front of Isaac Gleisner, looking for that centering feed. Good read by Andrew Miller. Andrew Miller with the puck now, who fires it, trying to get it into the LTU zone, and now fired in there by Ryan Grolo, who takes an extra shot at his man, Tommy Walsh. It's a big lead pass ahead to Jeff Rand. Rand puts on the brakes in the near corner. Goes swinging around the wall, where it's read by Lucas Hutton. Pass ahead to Isaac Hopp, who tries to win the race to the puck. He can't. Here's a turnaround shot. That wouldn't go. Foster couldn't find it for a second, but it was behind his net. Good opportunity for Isaac Gibbs on the doorstep. Puck not out of the LTU end. Gibbs there to retrieve it, but he loses the puck. He battles for it with Tommy Walsh, who fires it in to the near corner in the CMU end. Rifled back down the length of the ice. This will be icing on Central Michigan. 1-0 Blue Devils, 8:46 to go in the first period. We want to remind you fans that the CMU Club Hockey Network is your one-stop shop for highlights, exclusive interviews, and full game broadcasts for all CMU hockey teams. Make sure to subscribe on YouTube and turn on notifications so as to never miss a moment of Chippewa hockey. Luke Radu, one of the impact players for tonight's game, already starting off on the right foot with his goal at 9:39 in the first to make it a 1-0 Blue Devil lead. Puck turned over in the CMU end. Glove save by Gleisner. This is the kind of start that Central Michigan saw yesterday against LTU in Redford. Got out to a quick 1-0 deficit, then Ryan Grollo responded quickly to tie up the game at 1 apiece with his second of the campaign. How do you respond right here if you're Central Michigan? And some extra shots behind the play with the face-off. They'll chase them both into the face-off circle. Extra instructions from the linesman, and off we go. Face-off won that time by Central Michigan. Key face-off win there. That comes free to Armentrout. Intercepted by LTU, and it's back in the CMU end. There's a shot from a sharp angle. Save Gleisner. Rebound. Loose in the slot. Save Gleisner. And some more fisticuffs going on in front of Gleisner. Blake Holtkamp was getting into it a little bit in the near corner with his man. Nothing comes of that. So a chippy contest early in this one between Central Michigan and LTU, who's dominated the series against Central Michigan as of late. Their last 8. LTU is 5-0-1-2. Puck comes free to Jake Bishop. Jake Bishop tries a centering feed behind the net. It comes to Nathan Bottles. Nathan Bottles circles with it, and he's knocked off of the puck by the Blue Devils. Now the Blue Devils come up the other way in a 2-on-2. Good poke away by Sam Camara. Back in the LTU end, where the Blue Devils play pitch and catch, Central Michigan gets a quick change. Lead pass ahead for Luke Rand. A nifty move out in front, and Isaac Gleisner covers up. Couldn't get a stick on the puck was Luke Radu. And boy, another dandy of a chance there for Radu, as he could have made that 2-0. Just as it was yesterday, it's all LTU so far. Pouring the pressure on. Here's a shot right off the draw. Saved by Gleisner. Rather, that went up into the netting. 7:35 to go in the first period. LTU leads 1-0. Puck loose in the slot. Comes free. Central Michigan still loose in the slot. A shot went wide. Here's the rebound out in front. Sprawling save by Gleisner. Siraki there to retrieve it. Not out of the CMU end, though. Walks the line. There's a pass down low in the slot. Spin around. Oh, and Gleisner. It's down on the ground. Still loose. They jam away at it. Where's that puck? They're going to wave off that goal. Isaac Gleisner down and out. Spinning around on the ice as he fell down. And it remains 1-0. Boy, what a job by Isaac Gleisner to keep that puck out of the net as he was down and out. And officials congregating to perhaps discuss if there were any penalties. Yes, there were going to be penalties. After that, it's going to be Will Gents going to the box for LTU for a cross-check. In front of the play. Now the Chippewas getting the explanation from officials. So with Will Gents in the box, Central Michigan will head to their first power play of the night. Draw is going to be outside of Central Michigan bench. Isaac Gibbs tries to skate 2 through guys. Now look out. Here's a quick break down below. There's a penalty coming up and a big hit into the boards. That's going to be a hooking penalty on the play behind Griffin Foster. And this one's going to go on Gavin Holmes for LTU. So now it will officially be 5-on-4 for Central Michigan. Will Jentz and Gavin Holmes are in the box. Correction, this will be 5-on-3 for Central Michigan. So another 5-on-3. No, it will just be a normal power play. 5-on-4 for CMU. First power play of the night. Here's Gibbs with a shot. Blocked out in front. Isaac Gibbs fires another shot. It's saving the rebound is loose. Corralled by Central Michigan. A turnaround shot blocked by LTU. Pass backhanded in the right circle. Blockered away by Foster. Couldn't be cleared by Lawrence Tech. Long pass over to Gibbs at the top of the right circle. Centers it to Bottles, who circles with it down low. Is shot well wide. Chris Martin over to retrieve it and keep it in. Tied up by LTU, who fires it down the length of the ice. And there's going to be another penalty coming up to Central Michigan. This is going to go on Nathan Bottles for cross-checking. LTU leads 1-0. It'll be 4-on-4 for 48 seconds. For LTU will have a 48-second power play should this penalty expire. 4-on-4, a little more open ice for both teams. Draws to the left of Gleisner. Face-off won by Central Michigan. Isaac Hopp collects with it, who gets a stretch pass off into the CMU end. A nifty move at the right circle. Puck is loose. Played calmly by Griffin Foster. Puck taken there by the Blue Devils. Played off the boards. Ahead for Gavin Holmes, who gets tied up on the near side. Backed in to the LTU end was Logan Barnes, who fires it on up ahead across the way. Pass couldn't be handled by Gavin Holmes. Now up the near side comes Josh Gilgren. Gilgren knocked off the puck as he gets taken down by his man. Logan Barnes circling with it into the CMU end. Puck goes to the far corner, looking for that centering feed. Too far. The nifty move by Sawyer Walker. Shot rebounded in front. Here's a chance for Radu. A centering feed out in front, wide of target. Good chance for LTU. Sawyer Walker over to the right circle. Another shot saved by Gleisner. LTU so quick when it comes to those centering feeds. They're getting them off very well tonight. 4:57 to go in the first period. 1-0 LTU. CMU is 43 seconds and counting remaining on the penalty kill. That is, if the clock would start ticking. Clock has still not started ticking yet. And the clock is still frozen at 4:57. Here's Radu into the right circle. Clock is still not moving. Here's a turnaround shot, blockered away by CMU. That was boy, that was Isaac Gibbs. He took that block hard, and he goes off to the bench for CMU. Now the clock has started, and it's now 30 seconds remaining in the PK. That puck gets cleared down the length of the ice. This is going to go for an icing. No, this is going to be another penalty coming up on LTU. This is going to be Tate Wright going into the box. It appears to be. Looks like he cross-checked his man behind the play. And just in terms of the clock, it didn't start. It was stuck at 4:57. And by the time right now, it should be at 3:55 with the clock not starting. But thus, as of right now, it's at 4:27 in the first period. And Lucas Hutton also off into the box for Central Michigan. Looks to be some more coincidentals behind the play. So both teams getting their fair share of penalties so far in this first period. But LTU has the goal to show for it. And officials giving the explanation to both sides, reporting all penalties to the PA booth. And from what it looks to be right now, LTU is going to have it 5-on-3. Also could be 4-on-3 with the coincidental on Alex Grove. Now they have penalties, rather that's Caleb Dahl, so it'll be 4-on-3 for LTU. More open ice for the Blue Devils, and they are fast. Here comes Logan Barnes. Into the left circle, looks for that centering feed, works behind the net, knocked off the puck, played off behind the net. Tommy Walsh. Walsh down low in the left circle, his pass too far. Blue Devils get it back though. Shot was blocked, loose in the slot, now circling back with it. It comes free to Sawyer Walker. Walker redirected out in front, good block away, and CMU clears it the length of the ice. LTU's going to go off for a two-man change. A long stretch pass ahead. That'll go down the length of the ice. Icing will be the call. With 3:37 to go in this first period. Much to the dismay of LTU. Draw is going to be to the left of Griffin Foster. Connor Morgan directing Kyle Bowerson to get right behind him for a possible shot off the draw should he win it. Does not. Comes free to Logan Barnes, who feeds it up ahead to Gavin Holmes. Gavin Holmes got one man with him to the backhand. A centering feed blocked away by CMU. That puck taken by Connor Morgan. Works into the LTU end. Spins around. Fires a pass. Here's a shot right on. Saved by Foster. Here's another try. Well wide. That was Andrew Siraki looking for his third goal of the campaign. Puck tied up along the CMU bench. 30 seconds remaining in the 4-on-4. I stand corrected. Here's a down low in the circle, saved by Gleisner. A little extra shot after the play. .246 to go in the first period. LTU leads 1-0, 19 seconds remaining in the 4-on-4. Draw is going to be to the right of Gleisner. Face-off comes to the near corner. Puck still tied up in the near corner. Penalty coming up on LTU. He takes his man down hard, and a couple extra shots behind the play. And that's going to be Devin Genzel going off of the ice to the box for LTU. Couple extra shots at his man while he was down on the ice. And Brandon Clements is also going to go off for Central Michigan. So another set of coincidentals for CMU and LTU. Boy, it's been a penalty-filled first period. Tempers have flared quickly in this one. 2:31 to go in the first period. LTU leads 1-0 over Central Michigan. Fans, stay tuned for the first intermission report. I'll have that one for you coming up in 2.5 minutes. It'll be 3-on-3. Face-off won cleanly by Central Michigan. And the first set of penalties is over. It's now 4-on-4 for the next minute 50. Isaac Gibbs pokes it into the LTU end. Puck rimmed around to the near side. Not out, and finally does get out by Luke Radu. Radu with speed, a shot right on, well wide. Puck played ahead to Isaac Hopp. Hopp dumps it into the CMU end, the LTU end, blockered away by Foster. Along to the far boards. Martin with it on the near side. Give away by Connor Morgan. Luke Radu overskated the puck. Minute 10 to go in the 4-on-4. That puck played away by Griffin Foster. Ahead for Radu, who gets a lead pass ahead into the CMU end. There's a shot wide of target. Puck played out for Isaac Hopp. Nifty dangle to get into the LTU end. Here's Connor Morgan, a shot right on, blocked away by Foster. Losier had that puck taken away from him by CMU as it's back in the Blue Devil end. 30 seconds remaining in the 4-on-4, 60 seconds to go in the period. Radu, a shot from the blue line, saved by Gleisner. Puck couldn't be cleared by CMU. Losier spinning around, dangles, and gets the puck into the far corner, where it's played by Hutton. Out to neutral ice for Andrew Siraki. He gets taken down. Hutton races after it for Central Michigan. Bishop there to back him up. Puck saved in by Maddox Grimes, but quickly cleared back out by the Blue Devils. Chippewas will try again. Here comes Chris Armentrout. Armentrout, a centering feed, blockered away, kept in by Grimes. Grimes lets a shot go, deflected high up into the netting, and get a stoppage in play with 13.5 seconds to go in the first period. Central Michigan's had a couple of good chances earlier in this contest. With a key face-off in the LTU end here. It could be looking to get a shot right off the draw. Isaac Hopp digs in for Central Michigan. He's got Jace Johnson and Grimes behind him, but he can't win the face-off. Puck kept in by Maddox Grimes. 7 seconds to go in the first period. It's held along the back of the net. A centering feed out in front goes into the right circle, and that is how the first period's going to end. So a penalty-filled first period, but LTU is up 1-0. Could have been a lot worse for Central Michigan, but so far LTU is up 1-0 after 20 minutes. Stay tuned for the first intermission report. I'll have that for you coming up next. CMU trails LTU 1-0 here at Martin Ice Arena on CCHN. Back here inside Martin Ice Arena, where LTU leads CMU by a score of 1-0. But with those penalties in the first period, could have been a lot worse for Central Michigan. Very fortunate to have only one goal on the board, and that came courtesy of Luke Radu at the 9:39 mark in that first period. It was a rebound that couldn't be contained by Isaac Gleisner, and Radu uses his speed to poke it in on the stick side as he circles the net. That is where we stand right now after 20 minutes. Lots of penalties in that first period, at least 10. Plenty of coincidentals, too, as tempers started flaring early with that extra shot to Isaac Gleisner early in the game, which kind of set the tone for this first period being so penalty-filled. And CMU has had good amount of chances, though. There's been Jace Johnson getting a golden opportunity 1-on-0 in front of Griffin Foster, using his speed to work up the left circle, but couldn't get a stick on that as Griffin Foster read it beautifully and was able to calmly block it away. and Siraki with another opportunity down in the right circle. So Chippewas have been getting their fair share of chances tonight, just haven't been able to capitalize on any of them thus far. And it starts with the penalties and being disciplined out of the box in that second period. Plenty of coincidentals are being served for both teams, but it's all going to be about making adjustments and staying disciplined to that second period to keep yourself out of the box and stick with 5-on-5 hockey. You hear it over and over again from head coach Brennan Martin. He believes that if Central Michigan remains 5-on-5, they can compete with anyone in the country. So it'll be all important for CMU to remain disciplined in that second period and keep those penalties to a minimum and capitalize on those chances. It's been a couple of them, just haven't been able to capitalize thus far, but LTU leads CMU 1-1. Taking a look at the out-of-town scoreboard, the men's Division II team took on Ferris State last night at the D3 level, and they were 5-3 with a 5-3 loss last night at Ava Glaben Ice Arena. They will take the ice tonight directly after this game at about 7th for a 7:30 p.m. puck drop. Derek Steele will be on the call for you on CCHN just ahead of that one in about 2 hours' time. The women's Division II team takes on Eastern Michigan tonight in Ypsilanti. That game slated to start at 7:10. And if you remember back to September 28th, their season opener, it was a 3-2 loss to Eastern Michigan with 7 skaters on the bench. It'll be interesting to see how CMU can take their revenge against the Eagles here tonight for the women's team. And you can watch that game on Eastern Michigan Women's Hockey on their YouTube channel. And just getting word with the shots coming in, it's 23-8 in favor of LTU. Gleisner making 22 saves on 23 shots so far in that first period. Griffin Foster had to only save 8. So LTU pouring that pressure on early as we expected them to. And taking a look around CMU athletics, cross country is at the NCAA Great Lakes Regional in Norton, Ohio. You can keep up to date with those stats at cmuchippewas.com on their website. Volleyball is in action tonight for their final regular season game at Akron. They were 3-1 winners last night in Ohio, so they'll look to close out one in the regular season. And just to update you, Bowling Green won last night in Ohio. They have one more contest to go tonight against Ohio. Bowling Green had to lose just one game for Central Michigan to shoot up into first place in the MAC and host the MAC tournament at McGurk Arena. So a lot riding on the final game for both Central Michigan and Bowling Green. It'll be something to keep your eyes on for Central Michigan volleyball. Wrestling took on Indiana last night. They fell short against a Big Ten opponent. Solid debut for head coach Ben Bennett, coming short against a Big Ten opponent, and a couple of young wrestlers on the team getting their start. Some of the experienced wrestlers were injured for Central Michigan, but a great promising start for head coach Ben Bennett taking over for Tom Borelli. Men's basketball had a big win at George Mason on Wednesday, 70-69 off a game-winning 3 from Demarion Bonds, and they will look to continue to ride that momentum at home at McGurk Arena on Wednesday as they take on Central State. Tip-off slated at 7 o'clock p.m. Women's basketball in action 1 p.m. tomorrow against Bradley. They were there a year ago back in November in Peoria. This time, Bradley makes the trip to Mount Pleasant to McGurk Arena to play Central Michigan. Women lost 99-62 against Michigan, but a notable feat in that was Jess Lawson reached her 1,000th career point in the maroon and gold. An incredible milestone, and a big congratulations to Jess Lawson on that milestone. Football took on Toledo last week. They were 37-10 losers in that one, but turning the attention to later this week, it's the rivalry game, the battle for the victory cannon. Central and Western Michigan set to go next Tuesday at Kelly Short Stadium. Kickoff slated at 7:30. And finally, taking a look at the ACHA Top 10 and just some quick updates of those. Number 1, Air Force is going to take on Colorado College on December 2nd. And a big note to touch on football really quickly. Central Michigan has not won a home rivalry game since 2010 for Central Michigan. So a very long streak that is hopefully going to be broken by Central Michigan as they look to right that ship against the Western Michigan Broncos and take home the victory cannon. And just going over, once again, the ACHA Top 10, Air Force will take on Colorado College, not until December 2nd, so a little bit of time between those games. Number 2, Hope took on Michigan last night. They were 5-0 winners. Hope will play Calvin next week. Number 3, Calvin went to Michigan State, where they were 6-4 losers against the Spartans. And Calvin just mentioned they will play Hope next week. Oakland and Akron. Akron forfeited the weekend due to travel, and Oakland will take on CMU next weekend as they start divisional play. Number 5, Michigan took on Hope. They were 5-0 losers. They got IUP December 6th and 7th. LTU right now is taking on CMU, and they were 4-1 winners last night. They have Adrian next weekend. Number 7, GVSU is off, but they will take on Davenport next weekend. Number 8, Notre Dame is off, but they will take on Northwestern on Friday, December 27th. Number 9, UC Irvine is taking on Arizona State. Arizona State, 10-2 winners last night over UC Irvine, and Arizona State back at home tonight to try and sweep that series against UC Irvine. And finally, number 10, Colby College taking on Central Maine Community College. Colby has got UMass tomorrow. That's a look around the ACHA Top 10, and that'll do it for the first intermission report. LTU leads 1-0 after 20 minutes. When we return, play-by-play for the second period coming up next. CMU trails LTU 1-0 on CCHN. 20 minutes have gone by. 20 new minutes are set to be played here in the second period. LTU leads 1-0 after 20 minutes of play. Michael Rosencrans back with you, riding solo here today on CCHN. And just had a great conversation off of air with the grandmother of Lucas Hutton, all the way from Delray Beach, Florida, making the trip up here in support of Central Michigan. Always great to see the Chippewa faithful here in Martin Ice Arena. And their Chippewas are down 1-0 right now after that goal by Luke Radu off of a rebound from Isaac Gleisner. Those rebounds have been kind of a difficult spot for Gleisner this season. But with that 20 minutes behind, 20 minutes are up on the clock for the second period. And we'll get set to go here in just a few moments. Central Michigan is going to be working from right to left in this second period. LTU will counter left to right. And I'm sure a big adjustment in that locker room going to be stay disciplined for Central Michigan. It's been a chippy first part of the game. In this 20 minutes, keep yourself disciplined, play your game, and you can compete hard with 5-on-5 hockey. Second period underway from Martin Ice Arena, and quickly it's Tommy Walsh, fed it to the left circle. He gets taken down, puck kept in. That was blocked away by CMU. Armentrout with it, who backhands it out of the LTU zone, too far ahead for Jake Bishop. Back to center ice, lofted in by Josh Gilgren, and it's retrieved by Dominic Giordano. Here's Luke Radu. Pass ahead. Radu tries that centering feed, deflected out in front, save Gleisner. Boy, another chance from Luke Radu. So fast, so nimble on his feet. And another centering feed, and that deflection couldn't go. Gleisner's made 22 saves on 23 shots in that first period. So having to do a lot of work already. Here's Devin Genzel. Genzel circles in the left circle. A shot went wide. Puck calmly played by Chris Armentrout, who lofts it in down the length of the ice, icing the signal in the call. With 18:48 to go in the second period, LTU up 1-0. Central Michigan doing a better job of getting the puck out of the zone, but go for icings, and it's tough to keep a tired bunch out there. Bottles and Dahl to dig in for the faceoff. It was won by Dahl. There's a shot by Walker, calmly sticked away by Gleisner, goes up into the netting. 3 seconds tick off the clock. And if you're just joining us now, there was a ceremonial puck drop at the beginning of the game by newly appointed Central Michigan president, Dr. Neil McKinnon. Him and his wife, Leanne, in attendance tonight ahead of this contest. So great to have them here at Martin Ice Arena. Face off loose and won by Central Michigan. Cleared out. Here comes Jace Johnson with speed. He gets a good check by Sawyer Walker. That goes down the length of the ice, icing again. And Hop might have thought that the puck was beaten to, that he beat the puck. But he was stood corrected. Draw will be to the left of Gleisner. Derek D'Arcy haven't said his name much tonight for LTU. A chance down low, blocked away by CMU. Puck swings around to the near corner to the left of Gleisner. Tied up along the far corner. Puck finally comes free to Walker. Walker with a shot. Save Gleisner. The rebound was loose. And Gleisner covers it up. No extra shot to Gleisner this time, as Alex Grove will calmly skate off to the bench. LTU's controlled a lot of the possession, just as they did yesterday. Another face-off for them coming up in the CMU end. Puck is loose off the face-off. Played out to center ice by CMU, who fires it in. Nick Kuhn tries to win the race to the puck. Centering feed intercepted by Luke Radu. Radu along the CMU bench. Stretch pass ahead to Tommy Walsh. Spun around, couldn't keep track of it. Back up to center ice. Here comes Andrew Siraki. A shot right on, went wide into the near corner. Puck played to the far boards. Siraki swings it around behind the net where it's taken by the Blue Devils. Into the near corner. Now into the LTU zone. Comes Radu with speed. Bowerson tries to chop it out of there. He is able to, but LTU fires it right back in. Delayed offside for the Blue Devils. LTU's going to have to touch up. They do, and CMU's able to get out of the LTU zone. Andrew Miller dumps it in for Central Michigan. CMU will get a change as that puck gets played to the near boards. Knocked down, played by Nathan Bottles at center ice. Andrew Miller fires it back in, and Bottles and Miller collide. Miller slow to get up, and now does, and he's going to have to go off to the bench for CMU. Blake Holtkamp dangles with the puck. He lost it, though. Chase Johnson back to retrieve there for CMU. Rather, that's Jake Bishop. Kept in by the Blue Devils. A long shot went wide. Puck played out by Central Michigan, icing the signal and the call for CMU. 16:19 to go in the first period. LTU leads 1-0 over Central Michigan. Griffin Foster, one of 5 goalies on this LTU team. Noah Miklos, Tim Young, and Tommy Lee are all scratched tonight. Here's a shot by Walker. He scores! That might have been deflected out in front. And no, they're going to give it to Walker. And it's 2-0 LTU. It's just another one of those goals where it's a face-off right off the draw. Walker puts a good shot on it, and there are tons of traffic in front of Gleisner. Makes it very hard to see for him. Sawyer Walker picks that target and finds the back of the cage. That is Walker's 3rd goal of the season. And LTU is a 2-goal lead over Central Michigan. Played back out to center ice by Central Michigan. Deflected along the far boards, near boards rather. Puck is out of the LTU zone for a brief moment. They get it back in there. Central Michigan will have to try and clear. Here's Chris Armentrout. Backhands it on ahead to Nathan Bottles. Drops it off to Bishop, but delayed offside. So Central Michigan will have to touch up. That allows LTU to reestablish. Puck comes free to Walker, who loses it. It's been Radu and Walker, the goal scorers for LTU so far in this one. That puck was deflected off at Chris Armentrout to keep it in the CMU offensive zone, but not for long. Walsh fires it in, and LTU's going to get a change. Fresh set of bodies for the Blue Devils. Lossier circles with it at the Martin Ice Arena logo. 14:51 to go in the second period. LTU leads CMU 2-0. Gleisner swings that puck around the far wall to Jake Bishop. Jake Bishop sends it down center ice where it's quickly reinserted back into the CMU end by the Blue Devils. Chase Johnson along the near wall. He starts building speed. Along the far wall, he gets taken down hard along with the linesman there. Linesman gets back up, seems to be okay, but it's a tough spot to be in when you got somebody as fast as Jace Johnson barreling down the ice. There's a shot on save by Foster. 14:04 to go in the second period. CMU trails LTU 2-0. This will be Central's first offensive zone faceoff thus far in the period. LTU's just dominated possession against Central Michigan, and a key offensive zone faceoff here to try and establish something for Central Michigan. It'll be Connor Morgan to try and dig in for the maroon and gold. Faceoff comes back to LTU. That pass was deflected, but still able to get out of Chippewa end. Here's Radu, shot from the sharp angle, saved by Gleisner. Radu using his speed to create a good chance. And not a bad shot from a sharp angle. Gleisner hugging the left post, though. Able to make the save. Radu's going to dig in for the Blue Devils. This one comes back to Maddox Grimes. Maddox Grimes clears the puck out of the LTU zone. It's ahead for Nick Kuhn. A 2-on-2 clock has not started again. Down in the PA booth. 20 seconds have already gone off the clock at this point. Tommy Walsh with it. There's a shot on, blockered by Gleisner. Clock still hasn't started. Clock at 13:15. A centering feed out in front, wide of Gleisner. Kept in by the Blue Devils. There's another shot right on. Glove save, Gleisner. .13:03 officially on the game clock, but right on the scoreboard it still says 13:52. So 49 seconds have ticked off the clock, but it remains at 13:52 on the scoreboard. 13 minutes even to go in the second period. That puck corralled by Gleisner. And on the scoreboard, it's still at 13:43. So that's the time on the scoreboard. And that's the time we're going to go with. 13:43 left in the second period. Face-off won by CMU, retrieved by Gilgren. Andrew Miller had that puck intercepted. Sam Camara over to Hutton. Swinging around the far boards. Andrew Miller there to retrieve it. But LTU knocks him off the puck. Ace swinging around the near boards to Tate Wright. Tate Wright couldn't handle that puck. It was fired in to the CMU end by Gilgren, who spins away from Gavin Holmes. They get tied up along the far corner, and that puck gets sent to the near corner in the CMU end, where it's briefly tied up, and Sam Camara comes away with it. Andrew Miller couldn't clear the puck, and now they do. And Julian Johnson tries to win the race to the puck. He cannot. That's deflected up into the netting by Blake Holtkamp. For LTU, 12:48 to go in the second period. CMU trailing LTU 2-0. Draw's going to be on the near side. Right in front of the broadcast booth here atop Martin Ice Arena. Bottle set to dig in for CMU. Puck is loose off the faceoff, won by LTU. Bottles tries to clear it. LTU able to keep it in. That time that puck cleared out to neutral ice. Icing waved off. And a long stretch pass ahead by Griffin Foster right in front of the LTU bench. Puck loose at neutral ice, back into the CMU zone. That time that puck gets sent down the length of the ice. Icing waved off as Chris Martin won the race to the puck. That shot fanned on by the Blue Devils. Puck couldn't be handled cleanly by Central Michigan. A centering feed out in front, blockered away by Gleisner. Jake Bishop tries to clear the puck, but kept in by the Blue Devils. That puck deflected well up into the rafters. 11:59 to go in the second period. And unlike the first period, first 8 minutes of this period have been relatively disciplined for both teams. That first period featured plenty of penalties and coincidentals for both teams, 10 of them to be exact. Now here's Lawrence Tech working in with a shot. It's still loose in the slot. Rebound out in front, they score. That time it was Trevor Losier picking up the rebound and finishing it on the wraparound. That's his third goal of the season, and LTU has grown the lead to 3. That goal coming at 8:27 in the second period. Lots of traffic again in front of Isaac Gleisner. Losier able to pick up the rebound, and Gleisner was down and out, and he put it home on the wraparound to make it 3-0 LTU. The Blue Devils are not done as they enter the CMU zone again. Gibbs tries to clear that puck, but it cannot be put out of the zone. Andrew Siraki tried to get it on ahead to Nick Kuhn, and he overskated it. Here's Will Jentz. Will Jentz, a centering feed, couldn't get it to go. Will Jentz had a goal and 2 assists yesterday. Here's a feed out to Walker. Couldn't be handled by Walker. Another centering feed out in front, sticked away by Central Michigan. Nick Kuhn overskated the puck. Jentz with a centering feed down low. A nifty couple of moves working behind the net. Sawyer Walker. Sawyer Walker, a shot right on, blockered away. It's still loose in the slot. That shot fanned on, and Nick Kuhn will have to send it down the length of the ice. Icing is the signal and the call. With 10:37 to go in the second period. So CMU, whenever they clear the puck, it just seems to be an icing as the time being, and it's a tired 5 out there right now. Andrew Siraki and Nick Kuhn are just doubled over, and that just speaks to how fast this LTU team is and how tired they can make you. Faceoff comes free to Central Michigan. Luke Radu might have gotten a stick on it, but it couldn't be propelled home. Here's a shot low slot wide. Rebound comes free to Losier. Losier lets a shot go. It's still loose in the slot and played back out to the blue line for LTU. They'll walk the line with it. A shot right on. Save Gleisner. Rebound comes loose. Here's Losier. One-time shot. Blocked away by Central Michigan. That's Connor Morgan getting down there. Another shot blocked away by Nick Kuhn, and here's a break for Nick Kuhn, working in on goal, and a shot wide. Andrew Siraki tries to win the race to that puck. He's sent down the near boards, where it couldn't be kept in by the Chippewas. That puck sent down the length of the ice. Another icing call on CMU. 9:38 to go in the second period, just about halfway through this contest. LTU is the lead over Central Michigan, 3-0. This head-to-head series has been tough for Central Michigan. They're 11-8, 0-4 all-time against the Blue Devils. Their last win in the regular season coming all the way back to 2019, October 12th to be exact, with a 4-3 victory. And it has since been 7 games since CMU has won in regulation against the Blue Devils. That puck goes into the rafters. So 13 seconds tick off the clock. 9:24 to go in the second period. That face-off is going to be at center ice. Gibbs to dig in for Central Michigan. Just a quick warning on the face-off, but it's won by LTU. Isaac Gibbs couldn't catch up to it. Puck loose. It went into the CMU zone before Gibbs retrieves it for the maroon and gold. Sam Camara plays a little pitch and catch with Jace Johnson. Jace Johnson up the far side, deflects it off the CMU bench, trying to start something for this Central Michigan team. Centering feed, couldn't find anybody. All Blue Devils here. Blue Devils starring in their new blue uniforms. There's a backhanded shot saved by Gleisner. LTU debuting these new blue uniforms today, these road blue uniforms. 2 stripes along the back of the jerseys with white numerals. There's a gray and white stripe down the pants, blue socks, blue buckets. And there was the little bit of gray in their uniforms as opposed to the home white and blues yesterday. That puck goes into the netting. Thus the face-off will commence again to the left of Gleisner. That face-off won by LTU, but it came free to Central Michigan. Now back to Walker. Walker, a shot right on, save. Gleisner, boy, again, so much traffic in front of Isaac Gleisner, but he was able to see it all the way and hold on to that one. Face-off will once again be to the left of Isaac Gleisner. Face-off won cleanly by LTU. They can't keep it in the zone. The Blue Devils are going to have to touch up, and they'll get a change. It's fired back in to the offensive zone. Isaac Gibbs plays it up ahead to Isaac Hopp, who fires it in to the CMU zone. Isaac Gibbs in a race to try and get that puck, but he cannot win it. Here comes Derek D'Arcy. Shot went wide. Kept in by the Blue Devils. Another shot went wide. Tries a centering feed down low. That couldn't connect. Hopp fires it down the length of the ice. Icing waved off. Look at that speed and effort from Lucas Hutton trying to win the race to that puck. It's played up the near wall. Here comes Alex Grove. Good stick by Central Michigan to knock it away. Isaac Gibbs tied up with the puck. He tries to win the race to it. He can. Tries a pass in front. Too far behind now. Look out. A man behind the defense for LTU. Working it on goal. Well wide. Here's another opportunity blocked away by Gleisner. Here's a centering feed out in front. Couldn't be handled by LTU. Will Jentz circles with it. In the right circle. There's a shot on save. Gleisner. .12 minutes, 39 seconds gone in the second period. 7:21 remaining. CMU trails LTU 3-0 as we near the 6 o'clock hour in Mount Pleasant, Michigan. Connor Morgan and Will Jentz set to dig in for the faceoff. Connor Morgan able to win that faceoff. Puck could not be cleared and finally is, but reinserted back into the LTU zone. There's an offside. Faceoff is just going to be outside the LTU offensive zone. Will Jentz back in there with Nathan Bottles, who wins it cleanly and pokes it right down to the LTU end. Bottles tried to keep it in, pull his inner Shane Gostisbehere from a season ago, but could not keep that puck in as that goes into the bench. 7:05 to go in the second period. Here's another offensive zone faceoff for Central Michigan. Bottles was able to win it cleanly. Let's see if he can do it again. He cannot. That comes free to LTU, who clears it down the length of the ice. Now look out, a man behind the defense, and on goal he scores! Another breakaway for LTU, and this time it's Caleb Dahl getting his 8th goal on the campaign, and it's all Blue Devils. It's 4-0. That just comes from a face-off win cleanly by LTU and a defensive breakdown from Central Michigan. Caleb Dahl has so much speed on the ice for this LTU team. Only a freshman, but playing with a lot of experience as he nets his 12th point of the campaign, 8th goal on the season, at 13:01 in the second period. Here's Dahl again in the right circle, tries a centering feed, but he's knocked off the puck by Ryan Grollo. Ryan Grollo had the lone goal yesterday for CMU. A centering feed out in front, shot fanned on. And Central Michigan comes away with it, trying to start a rush. Nick Kuhn over the line for CMU, deflected out in front, a centering feed, a shot right on, saved by Foster. The rebound is loose behind the net. That puck rifled out of the CMU zone by the Blue Devils. Luke Radu had that puck go off of him. He recollects at center ice. Radu into the left circle. A backhanded shot well wide of Gleisner. Tommy Walsh hits his man hard to the boards. That's Nick Kuhn. Right in front of the CMU bench. That puck was kept alive by Kuhn. Now that puck tied up in the far corner. Andrew Siraki there with it, so was Isaac Gibbs. Puck couldn't be kept into the offensive zone, delayed offside for CMU. And they'll have to touch up, which allows LTU to reestablish in their own end. Puck chopped ahead by Nick Oda, who gets it intercepted by Central Michigan. It is not out of the LTU zone, though. Oda into the right circle, circles in the near corner, but working behind the net. Penalty coming up on Central Michigan. And Oda goes hard to the boards. Isaac Gibbs took him down. And we'll get a stoppage in play at 5:13 to go. So this penalty coming up at the 14:47 mark of the second period. It's going to be a high stick called against Central Michigan. That's going to go against Sam Camara for Central Michigan. CMU back on the penalty kill. LTU back on the power play. They're 0 for 2 tonight. Little tie-up, but the face-off comes free to Central Michigan. Hutton pokes that around to Nathan Bottles, who sends it down the length of the ice. Quickly 10 seconds off the penalty for high sticking. Central Michigan's penalty killing unit has been the better half of both of special teams. Radu fires that puck around the boards. Along to the far wall, Sawyer Walker. Walker gets it into the right circle. Back up to Walker. He'll walk the line. That puck deflects high up into the glass. Blue Devils cycling the puck very well. A centering feed couldn't be handled by Tommy Walsh. Walker back to the far wall. Back to Walker in the high slot. A shot right on, blockered away by Lucas Hutton. Tommy Walsh drops it to Walker. Walker, a one-time shot, blocked away by Gleisner. Radu collects along the far wall. Kept in by the Blue Devils. Here's Radu. Radu drops off for Walker, who fires it down low to Radu, who circles behind the net. Hassled by Lucas Hutton. Into the left circle, a shot, glove save by Gleisner. 36 seconds remaining in the high-sticking penalty to Sam Camara, and 3:49 to go in the second period. LTU up 4-0 over Central Michigan. Draw will be to the right of Gleisner. Will Jentz set to dig in for LTU. It comes free to Central Michigan. Maddox Grimes couldn't handle the puck as it comes free to Losier. Losier gets it to Will Jentz. Back up to Losier in the high slot. Over to the left circle. Here's a centering feed out in front. Blocked away by Gleisner. Losier, another shot. Glove save, Gleisner. 14 seconds remaining in the PK for CMU. 3:21 to go in the period. Gent set to dig back in, gets extra instructions from the linesman on the faceoff. And play is back underway. The final 10 seconds of the penalty kill. Working behind the net. Losier plays that puck along the near boards, taken by Connor Morgan. Penalty kill over for Central Michigan. LTU now 0 for 3 on the power play. Nick Kuhn fires a shot. Save, and the rebound is still loose. And it's still kept into the offensive zone, and LTU intercepts that. CMU fires it back in to their own offensive zone. Icing's going to be waved off. 2:40 to go in the second period. Brandon Clements for Central Michigan tries to win the race to the puck. He cannot. A centering feed out in front, loose in the slot, and taken away by Nick Kuhn. Kuhn along the near side. Backhands a pass to center ice, quickly intercepted by LTU. Oda fires it back in. Brandon Clements loses an edge. There's a shot from a sharp angle. High and wide up into the netting at Martin Ice Arena. LTU has shown their dominance in possession. An offensive zone faceoff. Chippewas have barely had any, unless it's on either icings by LTU or, quite frankly, those penalties that you saw in the first period. Draw to the right of Gleisner, won by Central Michigan, but quickly intercepted by the Blue Devils. Nathan Bottles gets tied up. Lucas Hutton gets tied up with his man. Slowly fired back in by Tate Wright. Lucas Hutton gets hit hard to the boards in the near corner. Swung back around by Devin Genzel. Tries a centering feed out in front. Nobody in particular. Here comes Chris Armentrout. Pokes it ahead into the CMU zone. Icing waved off emphatically by the linesman. Good hustle back there by Armentrout. Tied up along the far corner. Here the officials down on the ice saying, let's go. Free that puck. It's still tied up right behind Griffin Foster. Now it finally comes free to the Blue Devils. That pass couldn't be handled by the Blue Devils. That will go for an icing on LTU. And there's 65 seconds remaining in the second period. So an offensive zone faceoff coming up for Central Michigan. It's been the story against these ranked opponents. It's been a tough go for Central Michigan to try and get a key start against these ranked opponents and find themselves dug into a pretty big hole. Final 60 seconds to go in the second period. That puck swung around, hopped off the linesman. And we'll get a stoppage in play with 52 seconds to go in the second. That faceoff's going to come back to center ice. But again, you see it all the time with the ranked opponents. It just seems like a tough spot for Central to get a start and keep the momentum in their favor, because LTU is dominated in every facet of this game. That faceoff won again by LTU. And there's a Blue Devil down on the ice. That's Derek D'Arcy. Took an extra shot on that faceoff. And D'Arcy slow to get up. Yeah, might have taken an extra shot during that faceoff. There's 41.7 seconds to go in the second period. D'Arcy See him doubled over, but he skates off to the bench. Great to see him skate off on his own power. Certainly hope he's okay. Face-off's going to be right outside of the LTU offensive zone, right in front of the broadcast booth. Face-off won by Central Michigan. Lucas Hutton retrieved it along the near boards for Jace Johnson, who overskates the puck, but gets it back. Johnson working up the right wing with speed. Puck tied up in the far corner, and it finally comes free to LTU, who fires it down the length of the ice. This will be icing on Lawrence Tech with 18.2 seconds to go in the second period. Saw it earlier in the game. The offensive zone face-off. Connor Morgan, who dug in for Central Michigan, was directing traffic behind him for a possible shot on goal. Isaac Hopp digging in for Central Michigan. That puck finally dropped. There's a shot right off the draw, saved by Foster. And look out, lots of contact behind the play. There's going to be a penalty upcoming on LTU. And the Blue Devils will touch up, and another Blue Devil is down on the ice. Boy, that might have been an extra shot after the penalty happened. And Will Jentz is going to go off for Lawrence Tech. And nothing looks to come out of that extra hit off the penalty, but that looked to be an extra shot off the penalty. Will Jentz, looks like it's a roughing penalty. Would presumably be the call here, as he got tied up with his man and took some extra shots at him. After play, face-off won by LTU in the final second of the second period, and that is how this 20 minutes will end after this. And a little bit of extracurriculars after the play, as some extra words were said, and an extra shot was made. And officials will work to separate that. And now Lauren Jones getting into it a little bit with the LTU bench, and he's having to be separated. My goodness. Tempers have flared in an awful hurry. Lauren Jones still saying something to Griffin Foster. They're still sharing words. My goodness, tempers flared in an awful hurry at the end of that second period. But as of right now, it's 4-0 LTU after 40 minutes of play. Second intermission coming up next on CCHN. CMU trails LTU 4-0. 40 minutes have gone by in this one, and LTU leads Central Michigan 4-0. And coming out of that second period, going into the third, Central Michigan will have a 1:55 power play. Granted, officials are still talking with the coaching staff down below, so they could be sorting out if it will be 4-on-4 if there was an extra shot made after that penalty on Will Jentz. So officials and coaching staff talking this one out. But as it stands right now, it's 4-0 Blue Devils over Central Michigan. For the most part, in that second period, it was a little bit more disciplined game up until the latter half of the second period when tempers started flaring a little bit more. And LTU was another 3-goal second period, much like yesterday. They started out with 1 goal and skated off the ice in the second period, now with a 4-goal lead over Central Michigan. Those goals coming from Caleb Dahl, which was his 4th goal of the season. Sawyer Walker getting on the board as well for LTU in the second period as well. And Losier putting home a rebound off of Gleisner, and that is where the 3 goals add up to 4 for LTU. One of the first 3 in the third, in Central Michigan. Tough hole to climb out of here in this third period. Just getting word, shots for that second period, 20-4 in favor of LTU. So a total of 43-12 shots in favor of LTU. They've dominated in every facet of this game, and Central Michigan hasn't been able to get a lot of chances on a goal because LTU is outpacing them on the ice. So it'll be interesting in the third period for Central Michigan to see what they can draw up to try and adjust out of. But barring a miracle comeback, it is 4-0 LTU. Taking a look one more time at the professional out-of-town scoreboard. The Grand Rapids Griffins are at Milwaukee tonight. They had a 5-1 win over the Chicago Wolves last night. They're now 10-3-1-0 on the season. They are first in the division, second in the conference with 4 straight wins. Bob Kaiser and Larry Figursky will have the call for you on Wood Radio 1300 in Grand Rapids and 106.9 FM, and you can watch it on the big screen on AHL TV on Flow Hockey. Saginaw Spirit are in action tonight as well against Sarnia. That puck drop set to begin at 7:05 p.m. Spirit had a tough loss to Erie last night, 7-5, in a barn burner of a hockey game. Very high scoring at that. Dylan Clark has that one for you on the radio at 100.5 WSGW, and you can watch it on the big screen on CHL TV. The Red Wings are in action tonight against the Los Angeles Kings. This is a back-to-back on the West Coast trip. The Red Wings squander a 2-goal lead and were 6-4 losers last night to the Anaheim Ducks, which saw Marco Kasper getting his first National Hockey League goal, something he's been looking for a long time, and he finally got it last night. So a bright spot there for the Red Wings, but a tough loss to Anaheim puts them at 7-8-1 on the season. They now face a tough LA Kings team. Puck drop set for 8 o'clock p.m. later tonight, just in under 2 hours' time. Ken Cal and Paul Woods will have that for you on the radio at 97.1 The Ticket, and Ken Daniels and Mickey Redmond will have that for you on the big screen on FanDuel Sports Detroit. 4-0 is where we stand at the end of 40 minutes of play. When we return, play-by-play action of the third and final period from Martin Ice Arena. Chippewas have some work to do to try and make a comeback here tonight at Martin Ice Arena. LTU leads 4-0 over Central Michigan here on CCHN. Final 20 minutes of play coming up momentarily here for Central Michigan and Lawrence Tech. CMU trails the Blue Devils 4-0. A wild end to that second period, and just got word just at second intermission that Isaac Hopp for Central Michigan did receive a disqualification for an altercation at the end of that second period. So Isaac Hopp's day is done, and Central Michigan will be without one of their main producers on the third line for them going into the third period. Central Michigan will be on the power play to start the third period for 1 minute 55 seconds to be exact. And much like yesterday, LTU got off to a fast start. It was a 1-goal lead after 20 minutes, which could have been a lot worse for Central Michigan. LTU had plenty of good chances for the latter half of that first period, and then it was a 3-goal second period, and that's where you stand at 4-0. 20 minutes are on the clock for the third period of play, and it's underway here at Martin Ice Arena. Face-off won cleanly by the Chippewas. Face-offs has been another key issue for Central Michigan tonight, and LTU just out-muscles the Chippewas, frankly, in all aspects, as that play goes offside on Central Michigan. 14 seconds quickly gone in the third period. 1:41 left in the power play. Face-off won cleanly by Central Michigan, where it's shot into the offensive zone by Isaac Gibbs. That shot fanned on, it's loose in the right circle. Played back up for Isaac Gibbs. He'll fire, shot right on, deflected wide. Collected in the left circle, played back up. Back into the left circle. Around for Andrew Siraki. That puck loose, swung around, couldn't be cleared out. There's a shot saved by Foster. Central Michigan doing a good job of cycling the puck on the power play thus far. But are still looking for that first goal of the night with 1 minute 14 to go in the power play. Puck tied up in the face-off, comes free to the Chippewas. There's a shot right on, blocked away by Foster. Puck tied up along the far wall. Comes free, deflected out in front, blockered away by Foster. Shot didn't have much on it as it gets cleared down the length of the ice. Swung back around for Chris Martin. Chris Martin surveying the ice, looking to start the rush. Here's Isaac Gibbs with speed. He's over the line. Here's a nifty move. There's a shot right on. Save Foster. Good opportunity for Gibbs. Foster stands tall. Another shot was fanned on, collected by Bishop in the circle. It's not out yet. Isaac Gibbs drops it off for Kamara. A shot right on, deflected over top of the goal. And that puck sent down the length of the ice. 23 seconds to go in the power play for CMU. Looking for one final rush in the power play. Here comes Sam Kamara. He gets that puck knocked away by Sawyer Walker. Jace Johnson collects in his own end. Circles the right wing. Tries to spin. Has the puck intercepted and fired down the length of the ice. LTU will kill off the remaining second of that penalty. Power play is over for Central Michigan. LTU returns to full strength. 18 minutes to go in the third period. LTU leads 4-0. Puck loose in the left circle. Kept in by Walker. Walker working in. A shot saved by Gleisner. Puck poked out in front. Will Jentz couldn't get a stick on it. A shot right on. Went wide. Gleisner way out of his crease. Gets back in it. A one-timer fanned on by Jentz. Another opportunity. Blocked away by Jake Bishop. Puck collected by Nick Oda. Oda circling behind the net. That puck was intercepted by CMU. They fire it off the boards to their bench. Pass was fanned on and shot into the offensive zone by Nathan Bottles. Chris Armentrout and Will Jentz sharing a little bit of words before both will head off for a change. Played ahead for Nick Oda. He ran to his own man. The Chippewas will reestablish in their own end on the delayed offside. Andrew Miller fires it into the LTU zone. Chris Martin tries to win the race to that puck. He cannot. And here's an on-man rush for Tommy Walsh. Tommy Walsh tries to dipsy doodle his way. Can't find a stick on that one. Collected behind the net, into the right circle. Picked up by the Chippewas. Puck couldn't be handled there by Ryan Grolo. Tries to center a centering feed. Goes to the far boards and collected by LTU. Another one kept in to the zone by the Blue Devils. A shot right on, sticked away by Gleisner. And we'll get a stoppage in play. And the net came off its moorings for Isaac Gleisner. LTU looked to be confused if the puck hit the netting, but the net did come off its moorings. So that will be readjusted. The draw will be to the left of Isaac Gleisner, rather to the right of Isaac Gleisner. 16:21 to go in the third period. Face-off won by Central Michigan, Devin Genzel. Puck loose in the slot, a dangerous opportunity there for the Blue Devils. Losier fires a shot right on, deflected wide. Sent around the far boards, Blake Holtkamp tries to retrieve. Lucas Hutton able to tie up his man. LTU tried a centering feed, that wouldn't go. Puck played back out to center ice, kicked back to center ice by Chris Martin, and quickly fired back into the offensive zone by LTU. Andrew Siraki gave the puck away in his own end to Holtkamp, and Hutton got his stick tied up with Devin Genzel. Nothing will come of that. LTU fans wanting a penalty. A long shot to the right of Gleisner. That puck stagnant behind the net, where it's finally played by LTU. It's loose in the slot. CMU recovers. That puck fired down the length of the ice. It'll go all the way for icing. And this will be a face-off in CMU's end. 15:13 to go in regulation. CMU trails LTU 4-0. From one tough opponent to the next, CMU is going to be taking on Oakland next weekend as the Golden Grizzlies start divisional play. They were a team last year that made plenty of noise in their trek towards the national tournament. So far, they are 11-2 overall. There's a shot deflected. Good save, Gleisner. Scoreboard doesn't really show it with those 4 goals, but Gleisner has faced a lot of shots today in this one. Again, the shot total at the end of that second period was 43-12 in favor of LTU. That shot goes wide. Central Michigan collects it, brings it out to center ice, and Jake Bishop over the line. Into the right circle, centers it, tries the centering feed, intercepted by LTU. Chris Armentrout tries to win the race to the puck. He cannot. Now a rush for LTU. That shot was blocked away by the Chippewas. Hutton there to retrieve. Briefly kept out, but inserted back into the offensive zone. For LTU, Bishop deflects that pass to a Blue Devil, where it's reinserted back into Blue Devil zone. Josh Gilgren having to work around the referee to try and win the race to that puck. Along to the far boards, where Losier overskated it. That pass fanned on. Here's Jace Johnson. Jace Johnson surveying. That's deflected in to his brother Julian. That puck was kicked back in the CMU zone. There's a feed to Isaac Gibbs. Tries a centering feed. Couldn't get it to go. Right idea for Isaac Gibbs. Just couldn't find anybody. There's a long shot well up into the netting from Brandon Clements at the blue line. 13:38 to go in regulation. Draw will be to the left of Griffin Foster. And on the opposite end, Griffin Foster's only had to make 12 saves tonight after 2 periods for the Blue Devils. So CMU hasn't really been able to generate a lot of chances and get them to go. Face-off won cleanly by LTU. That swung around the boards, but took an odd care of a centering feed out in front. It's still loose in the slot and poked back out. Over the blue line, here comes Tommy Walsh with speed. In the circle, working it on goal. Saved by Gleisner. The rebound behind the net. Into the right circle. It's loose in the slot. And it's still loose. And it's played out to center ice by Central Michigan. And LTU fires it back in the offensive zone. And Gleisner will cover it up for just a second before dropping it off. Clements loses an edge. That puck knocked down by Jace Johnson's stick at center ice before it's sent back the other way by LTU. Chris Martin fires it into the offensive zone for Central Michigan. Jace Johnson tries to win the race to that puck with Guillermo Hernandez. Johnson unable to win that race. Now here comes LTU in a 3-on-2. Hernandez into the near corner, gets it back behind the net for CMU. Jace Johnson there to retrieve it for the Chippewas. They'll circle around to the near boards, deflect that off the boards where it's gloved down by Losier, who fires it back into the offensive zone. Isaac Gibbs is able to backhand it out of the offensive zone. Jace Johnson tries to run the race to that puck, cannot do so, but not cleared by Lawrence Tech as it's back into the Chippewa offensive zone. Chris Martin couldn't handle that puck as it went off his skate. And here come the Blue Devils. A drop pass for collected the blue line. A shot right on, wide of target. Retrieved by Connor Morgan, who backhands it into the LTU zone. And as quick as it's in for Central Michigan, comes out even quicker. Josh Gilgren tries to get it back into the offensive zone. Unable to do so. Tried a centering feed out in front, wouldn't go. Caleb Dahl with a good opportunity for LTU. Couldn't connect on the centering feed. Andrew Siraki couldn't win the race to that puck. Sawyer Walker with it for the Blue Devils. Along the far wall, a centering feed out in front. Good stick by CMU. Nick Kuhn trying to win a race for it. He hits his man hard to elicit some cheers, and here's Andrew Siraki, rather Julian Johnson. He gets taken down hard as he gets sandwiched in between two Blue Devils. Andrew Miller trying to win a race to the puck, and there's going to be a penalty behind the play for, it's going to be Robert Ring going to the box for the Blue Devils and Julian Johnson going into the box for Central Michigan. So another set of coincidentals. It'll be 4-on-4. For the next 2 minutes. Those penalties coming up at 9:17 in the third period. So Ring and Julian Johnson are off. Opens up the ice a little bit more during this 4-on-4. Face-off won by Lawrence Tech. That pass by Walker fanned on, but Jeff Rand able to back him up. There's a centering feed out in front, wide of target. Tried to deflect it in, was Jeff Rand. Rand working in on goal, save Gleisner, rebound, still loose in the slot, they score. 22 seconds into the 4-on-4. That looks like it's Devin Genzel. Pardon me, that's Gavin Holmes on that goal. That is his 8th of the season for LTU, and the Blue Devils have extended the lead to 5. That goal coming at 9:40 in the third period. It's just another unfortunate rebound that Gleisner lets up and couldn't be corralled cleanly, and Holmes there on the doorstep to just elevate it just enough over the left blocker to put it in the back of the cage. Radu with speed, and there's an offside on the Blue Devils. exactly halfway through in this third period. Central Michigan trailing Lawrence Tech 5-0 at Martin Ice Arena. Face-off won cleanly by the Blue Devils. LTU has not lost in regulation in the past 8 games against the Chippewas. Another offsides on LTU. Luke Radu slams his stick in frustration. As Losier worked in with speed. Just a quick cross-up of signals. So the two will work it out. The face-off's going to be right in front of the broadcast booth. Face-off won cleanly by LTU. Sawyer Walker pokes it in to the CMU end. Luke Radu overskates the puck. Here comes Gilgren. Rather, Hutton. They'll work that puck behind the net for Nick Kuhn, who couldn't handle it cleanly, and a stretch pass ahead. Good stick by Chris Martin to prevent the breakaway. Martin hauls that puck down. Works over the blue line. Here's Chris Martin. Works in with a shot wide of target by Foster. Isaac Gibbs in pursuit. He takes his man of the boards. And an extra shot there by LTU as Gibbs lost his stick in the process. Losier had that puck deflected off, and Hutton there to retrieve it. 4-on-4 is over for both CMU and LTU. Here's a centering feed out in front. Save by Gleisner, but we're going to have another penalty coming up on Central Michigan. This one coming at the 11:28 mark of this third period. That is going to go on Lucas Hutton, it appears to be, for a slash. So LTU back on the power play. Tonight they are 0 for 3 in this contest. Draw beats the right of Gleisner. Luke Radu to dig in for the Blue Devils. At faceoff won by Central Michigan. Could not be cleared out of the offensive zone as Sawyer Walker gets to the right circle. A centering feed out in front. Good save, Gleisner. That puck this time cleared out down the length of the ice, but quickly kept ahead at center ice by Logan Barnes. Over the blue line come the Blue Devils. Off the near boards to Sawyer Walker, who gets it over to the right circle. That's Radu circling behind the net. A centering feed out in front couldn't be handled by Tommy Walsh. Sawyer Walker retrieves. He'll play pitch and catch with Logan Barnes. That pass intercepted by Siraki, who fires it down the length of the ice. 50 seconds gone in the Central Michigan penalty kill. That puck deflected all the way back to the back of the net for Griffin Foster, and LTU will have to reestablish. 50 seconds remaining in the Central Michigan PK, 7:18 to go in the third period. That puck gets cleared out. Good stick from CMU to clear it out. .30 seconds remaining in the PK. Guillermo Hernandez circles behind the net. Gets it up to Losier. Losier looks for the shot, couldn't find a lane. Good way to get in front of Gavin Holmes. Nathan Bottles tries to retrieve that puck for CMU. It's swung around to the far boards. Final 3 seconds in the PK, and LTU 0 for 4 on their power play. CMU returns to full strength. Bishop overskates the puck. That goes behind the net of Gleisner, where it's taken out by CMU. They were fired on ahead. Tried to hit Armentrout, but couldn't hit him at a good angle. Tommy Walsh. Dangles with it for the Blue Devils. There's a shot on, sticked away by Gleisner. A big rebound came out in front. No Blue Devil was there to try and put home the second chance opportunity. Under 6 minutes to go in the third period. CMU trails LTU 5-0 at Martin Ice Arena. That puck rifled in by Nick Oda. Andrew Miller with it for the Chippewas up the near side. Will fire it in to the offensive zone. That puck comes out right in front of Griffin Foster. Dangerous chance there. Was able to calmly play it away before any CMU player was there to retrieve the rebound. Here's a rush for LTU. Radu fires a shot that's blocked by Chris Martin. Rebound out in front of Gleisner. Had to be poked away by the Chippewas. That puck lofted into the LTU zone where it's brought back in to the CMU zone, coast to coast. Played along the far wall for Sawyer Walker. He loses an edge. Delayed offside on LTU. They'll have to touch up so CMU can reestablish. That puck cannot be kept out of the offensive zone. Here's a center feed out in front. Save Gleisner, the rebound in the left circle. Pass too far ahead for Jace Johnson. He tries to win the race to that puck. He takes down his man hard here. Look out in front. Save Foster. And Johnson down in a heap on the ice and slow to get up. He finally does. Good opportunity for Jace Johnson. Just couldn't put it home. The centering feed out in front of Gleisner. It's saved Gleisner. The rebound comes free to Gents, who works it back up to Losier. His shot went wide. Another opportunity goes to the left circle. Losier at the blue line gets harassed by Connor Morgan. That puck gets sent down into the LTU end. Central Michigan will go off for a change. They need some fresh bodies out on the ice. This has been a tired group of 5 players for Central Michigan. Oftentimes you see head coach Brendan Martin with those quick shifts, but trying to keep his core group of guys out there. Could not be cleared out of the zone, and there's a shot saved by Gleisner. 3:22 to go in regulation. CMU trails LTU by a score of 5-0. CMU goes from number 6, playing number 6 to number 4 for the time being, given that the rankings will update next week. So new rankings are set to come out next week. But as it stands right now, from number 6 to the number 14 in the top 10 of the ACHA. 3 minutes to go in regulation. Puck fired back in by LTU. Don't forget, fans, at the conclusion of this game, it'll be straight to the D2 hockey team. They take on Ferris State here tonight at Martin Ice Arena. That puck drop slated for 7:30 p.m. Hope you can join us on CCHN. Derek Steele's going to have the call for you for the D2 side of things. That puck kept in by LTU. Good job by Central Michigan to harass in that shooting lane. Here's an awkward shot. Rebound loose in the slot. Couldn't be controlled, and now it is controlled by Jake Bishop at center ice, but LTU quickly knocks him off the puck and fires it back into the CMU bench. So we had a stoppage in play with 2:13 to go in regulation. These will be a couple of games that Central Michigan will have to put behind them when they take on Oakland next week. Another tough opponent coming up in MCHC East Division play. And if you want a chance at the national tournament, these are the teams you're going to have to go through. Jake Bishop knocked off the puck there by his man. Now here's Radu with speed up the left wing. makes a nifty move, working in on goal, wide of Gleisner. Under 2 minutes to go in regulation. Radu again overskated the puck, backhanded out to center ice by CMU. It's quickly fired back in to the offensive zone. A big rebound out in front of Gleisner. Lucas Hutton able to win the race to that. Puck deflected up to center ice. Sawyer Walker retrieves for the Blue Devils. The pass intercepted by Martin, who fires a long shot, gloved by Foster, and drops it off to Sawyer Walker. Lead pass ahead for Jeff Rand. Rand in the near corner for the Blue Devils, who takes down his man hard. And here come the Chippewas away with speed. That's Jace Johnson working in on goal. Saved by Foster, and the rebound is loose. It's still loose in the slot. They jam away at it. And the rebound comes out to Connor Morgan. A turnaround shot blocked away by LTU. Poked away at center ice. 50 seconds to go in regulation. Here's DRC. Drops it off behind him. Save Gleisner. The rebound. Saved by Gleisner again. Puck comes out to center ice for Losier. Back out to center ice for Siraki, who backhands it into the offensive zone. Final 26 seconds to go in regulation. That puck fired down the length of the ice. Icing waved off. Played by Gleisner for CMU. Here comes Sam Camara. Camara into the right circle. Puts on the brakes. That puck skied up into the offensive zone for Isaac Gibbs. It's loose in the left circle. A centering feed out in front won't go, and that will do it. At the end of 60 minutes of play, an extra shot there from LTU on the stick of Isaac Gibbs. Nothing will come of that. Central Michigan falls to the Lawrence Tech Blue Devils by a score of 5-0 here at Martin Ice Arena. Blue Devils sweep the season series, and now they've won 9 straight over Central Michigan. We'll come back for the post-game show. Might be an abbreviated post-game show at that, because got to quickly get over to D2 after the conclusion of this D3 game. Don't go away. We'll be right back for the post-game show. CMU falls to LTU 5-0. Back here inside of Martin Ice Arena. Tough one for the Chippewas here tonight as they fall to the Lawrence Tech Blue Devils by a final score of 5-0. Michael Rosencrans here with you for one last time inside Martin Ice Arena for the post-game show presented by SeamishiceHockey.com. Well, it was a quick start by LTU in that first period. It was just 1 goal, but again, it could have been a lot worse coming up for Central Michigan with plenty of coincidentals in that first period. 10 of them. 10 total penalties, rather, to be exact, in the first period. 5 different coincidentals. And it was a 1-goal lead for LTU, but it could have been a lot worse. LTU generated a lot of chances in that first period, but Chippewas were fortunate to be unscathed with a 1-goal deficit. But the second period is where the floodgates opened up again for LTU. They would score 3 in the second period before the final goal was scored in that third period by Gavin Holmes on that rebound. 5 different goal scorers for the Blue Devils here tonight. Gavin Holmes gets the game-winning goal tonight. Luke Radu got the first goal of the night. Then it was Sawyer Walker getting the second goal of the night for LTU, followed by Alex Grove and then Trevor Losier are your different goal scorers for the Blue Devils. And they sweep the season series against Central Michigan, and they improve their record to 11-0-1 on the season, while Central Michigan falls to 7-9-0-1. Correction, 7-9-1-0 in the overall season. Taking a look really quickly one more time at the out-of-town scoreboard, the Griffins have a tough contest against Milwaukee tonight in Wisconsin against the Admirals. Griffins are first in the division, second in the conference. Milwaukee in the division trails behind them 1 game, so an imperative game for the Griffins tonight. Rather, 2 games ahead. So a big matchup for the Griffins ahead of this one. That game slated to puck drop just about right now as the clock just strikes the 7 o'clock hour here in Mount Pleasant. Spirit plays Sarnia tonight. That game should be getting started here in just a few moments. The Women's Division II team is set to be going here in just about 10 minutes' time. You can watch that over on Eastern Michigan Women's Hockey on YouTube for the footage of that game. Red Wings are in action tonight against the Los Angeles Kings. That game won't get going until an hour later at 8 o'clock p.m. And don't have a score update as of right now for Michigan and Hope. Geez, that's because they haven't played yet. It's been a long afternoon here, but they'll get set to go in just about 30 minutes. But a game to keep your eyes on as number 2 Hope plays against number 5 Michigan. Before we go, I'd like to remind you fans that the broadcast of today's game was a copyrighted presentation of the American Collegiate Hockey Association, the CMU Club Hockey Network, and Moorehall Television. No reproduction, retransmission, or other distributions of the descriptions or account of this game may take place without the express written consent of the ACHA, CCHN, and MHTV. Speaking of which, we always like to thank MHTV for providing us with all the equipment for our broadcast. They would not be possible at all if they didn't lend us this equipment here, so we thank them ever so much for their support. And on camera today was Ian Drayton, running camera for us today. Thank you so much, Ian, for all your hard work. Pushing the 1s and 2s, Brody Finelli tonight, who's working double dutch again. And he's going for the D2 game coming up in just a few minutes. Derek Steele will be on the call with you for that one. And as always, we'd like to thank Reagan Cleaves for sticking around as the rules analyst today and helping out behind the scenes. Wish him well, as his voice needs some healing. It's been a long weekend for him and the Route 66 showcase. And well wishes for Reagan and a speedy recovery for his voice. Well, that will just about do it for us inside Martin Ice Arena. The Chippewas will be back in action next weekend against number 4 Oakland, who is set to begin division play against the Maroon and Gold next weekend. First starting at Buffalo Wild Wings Arena and coming back home to Martin Ice Arena next Saturday, the 23rd. Until then, my name is Michael Rosencrantz. For everybody else at CCHN, we'll say so long as Central Michigan falls to the Lawrence Tech Blue Devils by a final score of 5-0. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great night, everybody.